All right, so I'm going to talk about the 3 keys to the ultimate Asian male profile. You're going to want to stay for the third one because that's the one that really makes the biggest difference. So let's get cracking. What do most guys do and why doesn't it work? So, most guys online dating, take random photos from their camera roll, basically the least shitty ones, and upload them. They have low quality photos. No fashion or grooming, okay? It's just like whatever I happen to be wearing that day and my friend snapped a photo of me, I guess I'll give that a try. It doesn't tell a story, right? There's nothing that stands out at all about the photos. Like if you look at online dating photos of guys, they're all just the same. Everyone's looking the same, taking the same type of photos, selfies. And the thing is, like with Asian guys, like Asian men have to go above and beyond with online dating, okay? We can't just do what like other guys do. And because I've done that, it doesn't work. And you've probably tried that. Asian men really have to like stand out above and beyond to even like stand a chance in online dating. Okay, so how do you stand out as an Asian guy? Well, the general idea, okay, the general flow is plan your photos purposefully with high quality photos and an intentional story. Okay, plan your photos purposely, take high quality photos, and then integrate all of that with an intentional story. So I'm going to outline all of those things right now. So the first thing is plan your photos purposely. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, the general formula that I like to use is 2 aesthetic / fashion photos and then 4 hobby / lifestyle photos. The first 2 are kind of like attention catchers, and this last 4 are like showing a more in-depth different sides of you so the woman gets to know, your personality. Okay. Everything combined should tell a story, convey your best characteristics, and be presented in a nice visual package. Okay, I'm gonna show you examples of all of this. So this is how I plan everything, right? So I have this little grid here. First I put the concept in here. It could be like, suit photo, it could be like fashion photo, it could be dog photo, it could be paragliding, it could be scuba diving, it could be horseback riding, it could be whatever your hobbies are. I'm gonna put in the exact location here. I'm gonna put in the outfit, exactly the clothes, the shoes, the jeans, the shirt, the jacket, the whatever, the, accessories, and then some notes, okay? So this like plans it all out. And this sounds stupid simple, but nobody does this. Nobody, okay? Nobody's out here planning exactly how their photos are gonna be. And if you think about it, like online dating is just like writing a resume, okay? And you're applying for jobs. And nobody's gonna like write their resume just like, at 3 a.m. while they're drunk and just like offhand, like first draft, send it to 1,000 companies. I hope I get my dream job. Nobody does that, right? You're gonna sit down, you're gonna highlight your, write down your best highlights, skills, experiences. You're gonna, really think deep about what you wanna highlight in that one page on your resume and then squeeze it all in, right? You're gonna do some very intentional planning before you even write your first draft, then your second draft, third draft, get it edited several times, and then send it to all the companies. So here's what we're doing here too. We're treating this like a resume, like a real planned out, process. So this is an example of a guy who did this, one of my clients, right? He had one like fashion photo, one of him building stuff because he works in a workshop, building like watches and stuff. One at a museum, one drinking English tea because he's from England, one doing photography because he likes photography, and another one reading a book, sipping a pint. Very British of him. So anyways, that's what it looks like when it's all filled out. And then from there, we're going to dive into the 4 layers of a photo. And this is what's really going to make Asian men stand out, okay? Beyond just like other guys. Other guys have pretty basic photos, and it can work. But for Asian guys, we really need to go deep on this, and I'm going to break this down, okay? So there's 4 layers to every photo, okay? The first is the photo quality, just the fact that it's taken with a nice camera, the lighting's good, the colors are good, the editing is good, just that's, okay, very important. But that's just the surface layer, okay? That doesn't even include the content of the photo itself. So this is just the sharpness and color. The second layer is the information. It's the who and the what in the photo, right? So who is in this photo? Alex. What is he doing? He's, doing photography. Who's in this photo? Alex. And what is he doing? He's paragliding. Okay. Now, this is a pretty good start, okay? But this is just like the top 2 layers. It's like the tip of the iceberg, right? If you do this, great, you're off to a good start, but it doesn't really do too much. And this is what most guys on online dating do. They have this, you know, kind of, right? But as Asian guys, you can't really stop there because, you know, if we just have average photos as an Asian guy, you're just going to be completely lost, completely drowned out. So what I then figured out above and beyond what any of my friends or buddies were doing is, first of all, the third layer, emotion. Okay, this is facial expressions and body language. This is how you come across energetically to the woman. Does the person, when they see your profile, how do they feel? Does it make them feel, you know, happy, attracted? Does it make them feel excited? Does it make, like this photo right here, look at the way I'm holding my arms out and my body language and just the expressiveness of it all, right? It embodies so much emotion that the other person feels sucked into the photo, sucked into this experience, right? The adrenaline, the risk, the rush. If you can capture that part, if you can use that part to communicate through the digital means, I mean, gosh, this is next level stuff. And then finally, the story. This is all the photos weaved together, all 6 of those photos that you planned out. Do they come together to tell a cohesive story about you as a person? Okay, if you can do that, if you can sell to the woman the story of your life, the story of what it would like for her to be in your life, and present that in an attractive way through the photos, you are golden. Okay, she gets a sneak peek into your life. She gets a sneak peek of how it would be like to be with you. I mean, it's game over. Okay, these last 2 layers are what I figured out that just catapulted me as an Asian guy, right? Most of my buddies, white guys, are just like doing this stuff. But me, once I figured this out, that's what really took off, and that's what makes all my clients' profiles just pop. Okay, so, you know, here's looking at my old profile. You can see the photo quality, it was terrible. The activities are terrible as well. I'm not doing anything like noteworthy or interesting or fun that a woman would want to join in for. The emotions are, I don't know, all over the place. I mean, I'm just smiling, but like it just looks awkward. The facial expressions are not good. Not to mention like all my fashion and haircut are all over the place. And what's the story? I mean, the story looks like some kid, I don't know, who likes mangoes and takes funky photos and stands next to horses. This is a very incoherent story that doesn't tell anything attractive. Okay, so here's me now. All right, if we look at the photo quality, first of all, it is sharp, it's colorful, it's bright, it's eye-catching, okay? Then we look at the activities, right? Look, I'm doing like fun stuff, I'm talking in front of people, I'm hanging out at the park, I'm traveling the world, jumping off of mountains, you know, doing photography. You know, in terms of the emotions, right? How am I coming across? Like confident, you know, expressive, risk-taking, right? Like I'm showing, you know, having leadership skills. I'm showing that I have a soft side to me, right? All these things that a woman can feel into like how I am as a person. And then finally I have this like whole story, this narrative of me as like a professional, successful guy who like travels the world and speaks in front of people and is courageous and a leader and, you know, has his soft side, is good with kids and dogs and well-dressed and takes care of himself. And, you know, like this is a very cohesive story of an attractive, successful man who has a lot of cool things going on for him and gives a clear image to the woman of what it would be like for her to enter my life. How would it feel? What kind of things would we do together? Okay. So here's a client, for example, you know, his before, which is just all over the place. By the way, this is like a successful doctor, okay, who does stand-up comedy, except he's over here like dressed terribly, looking insecure and unsure of himself. You know, his posing makes him look kind of like a middle schooler. Like his fashion's like all over the place, making him like look super old. You know, and then once we transformed him, I mean, you know, first of all, he looks like 10 years younger, more vibrant, more energetic. That speaks to the emotional part. He's doing cool activities like tennis, speaking in front of people, hosting a dinner party, making pizza, you know, playing with a dog. All right, the photo quality is great. And it tells a story, right? It tells a story of a successful guy who is well dressed, takes care of himself, has his life together, is able to like talk in front of people and be funny. I mean, what an attractive trait. And then has an active life in terms of like exercise and sports, has a social life, is into cooking, has friends. Like this guy's life is a life that you would want to be a part of. This one is like, like, who is this? I don't want to go on a date with him, right? Same person, different presentation, a world of difference, okay? So now we get to the last and final step, which is getting the right type of photos that work for online dating. This is crucial. Okay, you could have all the steps beforehand, good, but if you don't have this one, you are still screwed. Okay, the type of photos that work for online dating is very specific for online dating. This took me 5 years of trial and error to figure out. Okay, I literally bought a camera and studied photography to figure this out. Nobody that I know knows this, okay? This is not Instagram photos. This is not LinkedIn. This is not family photos. This is not the random photos that your friend snaps of you, okay, on their iPhone. These are photos specifically designed to fully demonstrate the value that you outlined in step one. In step one, that was the planning, where we outlined the concepts, the things that we want to show off about you. These photos are designed to, bam, just smack dab, put those in front of your face. So these are some bad photos, for example. And honestly, some people would look at this and be like, these are great photos. In fact, most people online dating have some kind of photos like this and they think they're good, but they're not. Okay. More specifically, like this one's too far away, you're too small, also can't see the face. No sunglasses ever, okay? No selfies ever, and it's very blurry and grainy. Bad facial expressions. It's just like a weird concept. And even this, you would think it's kind of a good photo, but like the shadows on the face, the background, like the posing looks awkward. The fashion's not good. Like there's just so many little small minute things that don't really actually make this a good travel photo. It doesn't exude a sense of adventure. It exudes a sense of, I went there for a postcard photo, how boring. These are good photos, okay? First of all, you just notice the quality, the sharpness, the colors, the editing. They all show your face, which is super important. And your face is important for showing off your facial expressions, which is the emotional part, okay? So I worked a lot on facial expressions and body language and posing in order to get this energy across through the photo. Showing off the activities, the fashion's all good in these photos. The framing is good, the person's nice and centered. You can clearly see their face. The lighting is good. There's too many details for me to like specifically outline, and a lot of it just comes down to like having a good eye for it, because I've seen so many online dating photos now that I just know if it's good. I know if it's bad. I know if it captured the emotion. I know if it's telling a good story. I know if it's telling the wrong story. It comes down to the really, really, really subtle details, but getting the right photos to encapsulate the story you're trying to tell is super important, right? It's like if you have a great story to tell, you're a great candidate, but at the very end, the photos you take are crap. It doesn't matter. So the keys for photography are, even one bad photo can ruin the whole profile. If you have 5 good photos, but one that, just doesn't really stack up, women are going to judge you based on your worst photo. Okay, so you can't really afford to have like a bad photo in there. The key is to find the right photographer and train them well. So there's only certain types of photographers who can do this, and it's not even online dating photographers. Those tend to be the worst photographers. So I kind of have a special process for vetting these people, training them, and getting them to take really good photos for my clients. And then good posing. This is body language, facial expressions, the type of poses that make you come across confident through the digital platform, right? If you don't have that, you kill the entire emotion part of the 4 layers, and you come across awkward, right? Online dating is a snapshot, and in that snapshot, you need to come across the way, the most attractive that you can, so that she sees you in that light. So in summary, first, plan your photos purposely, like a resume. Figure out all the attractive things you want to show off about yourself and plan out exactly how you're going to do that through each of the photos. Second, use the 4 layers to stand out, especially the last 2 ones, the emotion and the story. Those are what make it pop and go above and beyond for Asian guys. And lastly, get the right type of photos for online dating. Encapsulate all the things you're trying to show off about yourself in this beautiful aesthetic package. The right type of aesthetic package, okay? It's not even the same as Instagram or LinkedIn or, any type of other professional photos, right? If you get the right type of photos that encapsulate the right content, you're golden. This is how you create the ultimate online dating profile as an Asian guy that goes above and beyond. But it fucking works. All right, so that's the formula right there. And yeah, hope you guys find a lot of success with this.